Good morning, everyone. My name is Jan Liggett, Mayor and Chair of the Special Council meeting. And as a reminder, City of Cambridge Council meetings are broadcast on the City of Cambridge YouTube page and archived on the city's website should you miss a meeting. The purpose of this special council meeting is to approve items arising from the Budget and Audit Committee meeting held earlier this morning. It is my pleasure to introduce Council. Councillor Reid is joining us virtually. Councillor Kimson, Councillor Devine, Councillor Earnshaw, Councillor Roberts, Councillor Hamilton, Councillor Cooper, and Councillor Armetta. We embrace our shared responsibility with the Indigenous peoples to take care of this earth and its creatures. We can only do so by walking the path as partners stewarding this land, as we have been given the duty together to live in balance and harmony with all living things. We acknowledge and respect the Indigenous peoples who came before us and who we live amongst. By honoring this truth of past and present, may we come to true reconciliation through listening, reflecting, and learning. A reminder to members of council that the Municipal Conflict of Interest Act requires members of council to declare any direct or indirect pecuniary interest in relation to a matter under consideration. Are there any declarations of pecuniary interest, council? Seeing none, we will move forward with our agenda for today. And the first order of business is agenda item number 4, Budget and Audit Committee proceedings. Councillor Earnshaw, you have that motion. Can you please read it in its entirety?
Thank you, Mayor Liggett. It's moved by me and seconded by Councillor Devine that Cambridge City Council approves the proceedings of the February 9, 16, and 21, 2023 Budget and Audit Committee meetings.
Oh, sorry. And I will have the clerk put the, any questions or comments at this point? None? Okay. And the clerk can put the voting up on the screen, please. Thank you.
Voting started. Councillor Reid, how do you vote?
Vote in favor.
Voting now closed. And that motion carries unanimously.
Our next order of business is the consideration of bylaws. Councillor Roberts, you have that motion. Could you please read it in its entirety?
Yep, thank you, Mayor Jan. Item introduction and consideration of bylaws moved by myself, seconded by Councillor Hamilton. The recommendation that the following bylaws listed under the heading of introduction and consideration of bylaws be enacted and passed. 23-011 being a bylaw to authorize the issuance of debentures for rehabilitation of existing assets and construction of new assets contained in the capital funding program. 23-012 being a bylaw to adopt municipal fees and charges for 2023.
Thank you, Councillor Roberts. And I will now ask clerk to call for the vote.
Voting's open. Councillor Reid, how do you vote?
In favor.
Voting now closed. And that motion carries unanimously.
Our next order of business is the confirmatory bylaw. Councillor Cooper, you have the motion. Can you please read it in its entirety?
Thank you, Mayor Liggett. This item is moved by myself, seconded by Councillor Hamilton, that bylaw 23-013 being a bylaw to confirm the proceedings of the Council of the Corporation of the City of Cambridge be passed.
Thank you. I will now ask the clerk to call for the vote.
Opening voting. Councillor Reid, how do you vote?
In favor.
Voting closed. And that motion carries unanimously.
Before we move to close of the meeting, I just want to say this was your first budget, one of 4, and you did an exemplary job. I am so happy to be working with all 8 of you, and it just bodes well for the future going forward and how we move this city forward in capital projects and operating. And you've done an amazing job for the taxpayers. And I've said the same thing to staff as well this morning, but I don't think it's said enough. I'm just so happy and pleased with the budget that we have come out with. So thank you. Thank you all for that, for working together to do that. Now, I'm close of the meeting. We've reached the end of our agenda. The final order of business is closing of the meeting. Councillor Kimpson, you have that motion. Could you please read it in its entirety?
Thank you, Mayor Jan. Moved by myself and seconded by Councillor Armetta. Recommendation that special council meeting does now adjourn at 11:51 a.m.
I will now ask the clerk to call for the vote.
Voting open. Counselor Reid, how do you vote?
In favor?
Voting's now closed. And that motion carries unanimously.
Thank you, everyone, for your time and your contributions. And lunch will be provided downstairs. It had been expected that we'd go much further into the day, so don't forget to share in that lunch.